Hello everyone and welcome back to the Team Disaster Rebirth of Glory release event tournament. We are here. It is the grand finals. We have got Coercezz coming up from the losers bracket versus our current reigning winners bracket champion, DB Dreamlife. I'm here, I'm your host, Ludibrolo, joined today by my friend and teammate, TS Potwasher.
So this is another revenge match from the winners finals. So gonna be another close match, I'm assuming.
Yep,
Coercezz. Some really close games.
Coercezz
with the Runecraft
doesn't accept his defeat at the hands of Dreamlife, crawl his way back up from the losers bracket. That's what we like to see. I'm sure this will be a great grand finals. Coercezz, of course, coming up from the losers bracket means that he not only has to win this match, he has to win this one, then there'll be a bracket reset, then he has to win the next one as well, whereas Dreamlife just has to win one match.
Dreamlife's Runecraft so far has done well, but has seen some kind of shaky moments.
Yeah, it's been they've been very edge of your seat games with the Runecraft deck, I think it's fair to say, but it's certainly pulled through where it counts. In a tournament seemingly quite dominated by Haven and Blood, but a lot of the time we've seen not so favourable results from the Haven decks. We've seen them running out of steam, we've seen kind of awkward turns from them, so perhaps Haven isn't the way to go here. And Dreamlife is onto something by bringing the Spell Boost Rune deck.
I really like the regular Spell Boost deck with the Solomon Spell Boost deck. It's just very efficient. It puts great stats on the board. It can heal up efficiently with Truce Adjudication. It's kind of hard to fit in the Truce Adjudication into the new Burn Rune decks because of the addition of the Twin Blade Mage. When you have that many spell boost cards, your hand can get really off. So it's hard to fit everything in, but the traditional spell boost deck from last expansion seems to really be working out well.
Yeah, definitely. It's so impressive as well for a deck in this meta with absolutely zero new cards in it to be so dominant and get to the very end of a tournament like this. But here we are, starting off with a match that we've seen quite a few times over the course of this tournament. Vengeance Blood versus Ilana Haven. And as we've seen, it's quite difficult for the Ilana Haven deck to win this matchup, correct?
It seems so far, but the Blood players have had really good hands.
That's for sure, and we've seen a huge showing from Seductress Vampire, the hot new Blood card that completely makes Vengeance obsolete and turns on all of your amazing Vengeance cards, although it's currently missing, and I spoke too soon, Unleash the Nightmare, indeed, living up to its name. The Nightmare is here, and she has turned Vengeance on. Turn 3.
Wow.
And
I think we've seen Seductress Vampire almost every game by...
Yeah, I think there was only one game, a Blood Mirror, where neither player got the Seductress Vampire. But every other game we've seen it quite consistently by turn 4 at least. Whew. And comparing the hands here, it's not looking too hot for Coercezz. His hand is looking a bit anemic compared to the power that Dreamlife is packing in his hand. Going with the entrancing blow there, trading off the bat. Probably see the Heartsick Demon here. Setting up for the next turn.
I wonder what you would use. Laura being 3 costs is always great.
Yeah.
Option to reduce Calamity Bringer.
I mean, you can just go Urias to 2, Laura to 3, and set up your next turn quite nicely, giving you already a 9/4 Calamity Bringer Storm and getting the free evolve on the Urias. Oh, absolutely disgusting. Oh, it looks like Dreamlife might be having some connection issues. Let's hope that that's not the case.
That would be unfortunate,
That
especially
would be
with
extremely
this
unfortunate, especially right now. Not what we want to see in the grand finals of the tournament. But not a lot we can do. We're just checking up on him in the Discord.
We should see shortly.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer.
A minute or two, it will just go to the...
Oh, it would be less than a minute, right? So a minute and a half is the total turn timer.
Okay.
Oh, are we back? It's hard to tell sometimes because
yeah.
Ooh, looks like Dreamlife got the disconnect there.
Hopefully we can get it sorted out.
Yeah, let's hope we can get Dreamlife back on here. Please bear with us, folks. Really unfortunate to see that happen, especially.
Still has
yes, Dreamlife, of course. Yes, he has a whole round buffer, of course, given that he's the winner of the winners bracket, which is a little bit better than if he was to DC in the losers bracket position, but yeah, still not what you want to see in a in the grand finals match. Give us 2 minutes, folks. We're just going to find out what's happening here, and then we'll get on with the show. It's possible Dreamlife is having some, perhaps more than connection issues on just Shadowverse, but we will attempt to find out what's going on there. So, Pot, we've seen only 3 decks so far today. I mean, we've seen we've seen various versions of them, but yes, we've seen Alana Haven, we've seen Vengeance Blood, and we've seen this a lone Spell Boost rune, making it all the way to the finals, the grand finals. But yeah, what do you think about the meta so far and the dominance of especially Vengeance Blood and Alana Haven? Do you think there are other decks that can fight against these? I mean, of course, we're very, very early into the format here. We're only 3 days in. There's still plenty of time for people to innovate on decks. No, you go ahead.
If Blood turns out to be this dominant and this popular, I think it's gonna be possible to start teching against it, to start hitting decks against it, selecting decks that are going to be a little bit more. We saw Burn Room become way more popular overall.
That is a thing that we haven't really seen today, but
as well.
Yes, Burn Rune, which is it's more of a Earthright based rune deck that runs both the what's it called, the Dual Blade Mage, and the Zealot Twin Blade Mage, yes. Whatever it's called,
the Orhalcum Gold.
Yes, so more direct damage to face and burn them out, and
generally deals like 2-3 damage at a time. So it fits perfectly against.
Yeah, it gets right in there under the Azazel effect. Okay, it looks like Dreamlife's getting back online now, so we'll have this next matchup for you shortly. Unfortunately, that will be considered a loss for Dreamlife. We're going to have to get him back in the room as well. So we will just continue on with the match, unfortunate for Dreamlife. But them's the rules, and we can't make exceptions, unfortunately.
I think it's always kind of exciting when there's a really dominant deck where you have to think of ideas, like deck ideas, in order to try to beat it, and we haven't had that in a really long time.
I agree to an extent, but my personal opinion is that Blood may be just a little too overtuned. I think, certain cards in the deck. I don't even really think that the problem is the, not Temptress Vampire, the, you know the one, Seductress Vampire. I don't really even think that that is the problem. I think cards like Urias are more of a problem than that, personally. I think they just do a bit too much. They give the deck a bit too much power in the mid game, which allows it to ride, you know, it just kind of coasts into its late game. Anyway, thankfully, Dreamlife is back. And
so
we will carry on.
We're going to start from game 2 of this best of 3 match, correct?
Yes, we're going to start with Dreamlife. Coercezz Haven deck has won. I will update the
okay.
I will update the overlay to reflect that. Just a second. So Dreamlife will have to win with both of his decks. Coercezz will just have to win with his Bloodcraft deck to force a bracket reset. Just getting the game started here. Sorting out with the players exactly where we are in the whole win situation, then we'll go right back into it.
Okay.
Here we go.
So Blood left for Coercezz. So far, Dreamlife has been mashing the Havens.
Yes, but again, as we've seen from the other matches, if Dreamlife was running Haven himself, the Blood would be quite favoured against it, given its results so far. So perhaps Dreamlife can win the Blood Mirror, and then his Rune deck, which, I mean, it certainly had a good showing so far, maybe it can pull out a win against Blood.
Medusa is a very difficult card to in the mirror. You really want to keep it in the mulligan, even it's that powerful. A lot of the times you're gonna have a 5-3, a 5-4 follower out on the board on turn 4 going second, and if you can get a Medusa against that, it's really, really powerful.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
a lot of people are choosing to hold on to it even.
No sign of the Seductress Vampire anywhere except for Coercezz's opening hand here for either player. This is exactly what we were talking about before. We hadn't really seen a game where neither player got their vengeance online early, and here we are. This might be an interesting one.
When the game goes a little bit longer and the decisions are tighter without the vengeance, I think matchup can get really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it'd really suck if only one player had their vengeance online here, but if both of them don't, then yeah, I spoke too soon, obviously. But I don't know. I think the thing is, especially in the Blood Mirror, this is one place where the whole vengeance being active thing matters a little bit less than usual. Coercezz does have the option of playing the Azazel here and getting his vengeance online with that.
There's some fancy options like Evolve in Place, Hidden Peckish, but it doesn't really improve his position too much.
Yeah, not really. So it really sucks that he has to evolve and trade this Azazel here, but he is in vengeance now.
Yeah.
And again, the Azazel effect quite potent in the mirror, so we'll see how that goes for him. Although, like you were saying before, the way to punish the Azazel effect is the Medusa in follow-up. Especially with Evolve, getting the Medusiana in hand. We see the Laura there waiting to give it Storm. We've seen it so many times during the run of this tournament, finishing people off with that massive Storm Medusiana.
No clean answer here, no way to get rid of.
Yep, that Urias coming down just a turn too late to punish this Medusa. Often a way to prevent the opposing Blood player from being able to safely doppler Medusa, playing your Urias in there, making them take 4 pings, healing for 4. Can't be cleanly cleared by the Medusa herself on the Evo. Not a luxury afforded to Coercezz, unfortunately.
A lot of the time, the games still do go on for a very long time, though. So you're still not gonna win through this immediately, and then might still have some back and forth with Calamity Bringer, the Destructive Succubus in hand.
I mean, honestly, the one thing that Coercezz has over Dreamlife right now is the fact that he has the Azazel effect, and Dreamlife currently does not. So, this massive Calamity Bringer in Coercezz's hand, 12-4 worth of damage. With if Coercezz can find a Laura to give that thing Storm, he may well be able to steal the win.
Definitely see something like that. Wonder how he's gonna approach getting rid of the Sirius.
Oh, I imagine he'll just trade in the Bane Snake. There we go.
Okay. I thought you might want to push 3 damage now. But
I mean, it is going to be hard for him to chip down Coercezz's health, given the Azazel effect. Perhaps follow this up with the Unleash or the Hellblaze Demon on the Medusiana. Medusiana, of course, can still get around the Azazel effect due to multiple attacks. Can't quite kill you from 10, but it can kill from 9.
The snake is going to get Bane and Ward again. So that's pretty nice as well.
Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Calamity Bringer can clean this board up, though. The slightly smaller Calamity Bringer. And there actually is the Laura to give the other Calamity Bringer the Storm. Ooh, that's...
He can also lose on the spot.
Yes, he could also lose on the spot. No instant losing, but also not a great roll on that Calamity Bringer there. The Urius, the one thing that you do not want to see.
Lethal.
Oh man, you're right.
So
Oof.
we saw this miss lethal earlier.
Not missing it this time. Learn from his mistakes. And there we go. Dreamlife evening it up. Back to 1-all. Showing that just because a game was dropped before doesn't mean he's out of this by any means. A little bit lag on the spectator client there, I believe. Should catch up with itself.
Medusa really strong in the mirror, showing that off.
Oh yeah,
well.
oh yeah. I think I will need to reload. Oh, nope, there we go. Looks like we got kicked from the room. I'll just rejoin that.
So now we're in game 3. If Dreamlife can take this one, he'll be the champion and earn $300.
That is correct. Coercezz
champion
not
point.
Yes, this is the tournament point indeed. Whoever wins this, Dreamlife wins. One second, everyone. Looks like Coercezz accidentally selected his Haven deck again, so we're just gonna quit out of here, and
Okay. Probably just hit the go button immediately.
Yeah. I'll use this time
top.
to update our overlay here.
Oh. Okay.
We're gonna have to quit out. Just give us a second.
We'll go back to game 3, I think.
Oh, are they gonna use the same room? Just do a rematch, right? What is happening here?
I think we should just play out game 3, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. We've seen Rune versus Blood one time so far? From Dreamlife? Or twice? I think... Or have we seen it at all? Dreamlife has kind of lost the Blood Mirror...
There we go.
More than once, if I remember correctly. Or... I don't quite remember, actually.
I think Dreamlife... Didn't Dreamlife play against Haven both times with his rune deck?
Yeah.
I don't believe we've seen him... yeah, I don't believe we've seen him play against Blood yet.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting to see. We've seen the rune deck do pretty handily versus Alana Haven, but we'll see how it fares against Vengeance Blood. Again, like we were saying before, everything to play for here, folks. If Dreamlife can win, that secures him the grand prize of $300. Coercezz can win, then he will reset the bracket and have another go at beating Dreamlife for the first place position.
It's drawn into Blood Pact into Unleash.
Almost every game, yes. Yeah. That's the sign of a skilled Blood player right there.
So, nice opener for sure.
Will we see? Oh my god. Yeah, no Seductress Vampire quite yet. Clearing off these bats with the Magic Missile. Just playing Azazel on 4 here is fairly weak play.
Very confident in trying into Temptress, maybe? Or in
using up
burn
this
matchup, it can get really awkward to play those Azazel.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd consider Azazeling particularly good in this matchup. The Medusa here can clear off this Eleanor though. Not too bad of a play.
Yeah, that's a really nice answer to the 5-4. Just seen one Magic Missile.
Seems to be considering his options here, Coercezz.
Yeah, he really wants to draw.
Really wants to draw the Seductress Vampire, but still nothing there for him.
Or, yeah, Seductress.
Do you have any idea what happens if you draw a Seductress Vampire with the card that would be milled?
I'm quite sure that it would just be destroyed.
Yeah, I think it would be destroyed. Chooses to buff the Destructive Succubus there.
You can tell he's really kind of rushing to get the Storms online and get the Vengeance online, but doesn't want to do it with Azazel.
Yes, it's really unfortunate. I think the Medusa would have been a far more efficient play last turn. Obviously, he puts quite a lot of stock into having that Vengeance online with the Seductress Vampire. Let's see how it works out.
No Solomon or...
Yeah, quite a clunky hand from Dreamlife as well.
Ryo, yeah.
Not really any of the things that you want to be seeing in the early game for Rune. You got some Magic Missiles, but you really want to be getting one of those Solomons, buffing it up. pumping up with spell boosts, getting that Ryo out there, and then riding that all the way to the bank with some big truth adjudications.
Doesn't have a clean answer here besides.
It's still got the Medusa evolve. Not quite as good on the playpoint usage this turn, but goes for another Unleash the Nightmare, still not finding the Seductress Vampire. Same play as last time. Hellblaze Demon coming in, buffing the Destructive Succubus again. Exactly, I'm getting deja vu here. Exactly the same play.
Wow. I kind of expected him to be a little bit more conservative with his second Evo.
Oh, certainly.
Least, but
especially with still no sign of the Seductress Vampire to give him the free Evos on the Urius. He doesn't even have the option of the Azazel now.
Tetra is gonna be quite annoying to deal with without an evolve point. Even with an evolve point, it's annoying to deal with.
Yeah, he could just throw away the Calamity Bringer, but of course that's very useful for getting rid of those massive golems from the Truth Adjudication. And especially, Rune is certainly a deck that can make a lot of large followers in one turn. Have plenty of Zealot of Truth out, and alongside a Truth Adjudication. The Calamity Bringer can certainly mop that up. Oh, and of course the Calamity Bringer is going to deal 7 damage to the leader, since Vengeance is not active. Really unfortunate here for Coercezz. This Destructive Succubus getting extremely large here. Take this Azazel out with a Veridic Ritual.
Not a lot of proactive plays from the Rune side either.
Choosing to go face with the Veridic Ritual. Pivoting on the Rune side. Perhaps deciding it's time to take the offensive.
Yeah, you don't want to go too deep, or else they'll put the opponent into vengeance.
I imagine this Edict of Truth.
Yep.
Edict of Truth with 11 spell boosts here, well online. And just empty his hand out a little bit. This Edict of Truth, and maybe I would draw him into something good, like a Ryo. Help him get through the rest of his deck a little bit easier.
Both players almost halfway through their decks.
Yeah, this is a definitely a different kind of game than you would expect from this kind of matchup. Decides to go with the Nightmare Dream Eater instead of one of the Urius, obviously holding the Urius just in case he can get into Vengeance and use those free evolves. Fiery Embrace is getting nice and discounted here. Imagine we're going to snap off this Medusa with one of them. Another Clark, the third Clark, in the hand there. Wonder how much these Truth Adjudications are on. 13 and 11 respectively. 13. After these Fiery Embraces have been fired off, and the Edict of Truth, which can give a free boost, of course. That's another... at least 4 boosts out of hand, the Clark another 2. So potentially going up to 17, up to 19 even, after all of these boosts are done. Looks like he's just going to go face, keep pushing that damage. Firing these Fiery Embraces off.
Looks like he's going for a 2-turn lethal.
Yeah, going to be firing off a bunch of these spells and...
yeah...
trying to roll that Truth Adjudication. I mean, he's got 2 turns to do it in. Fire off one of them and then just know that you'll live through the the massive ward that you'll produce and then hit face for the rest of the damage.
if you do put the Urius on the board, that is gonna be a little bit of healing.
A tiny bit.
There are more copies of Fire Embraces in hand. So that's gonna be good.
Hey, Coercezz is in vengeance.
Certainly is.
You finally got there. It's gonna give all of these serpents ward. Not really something that we're concerned with right now on Dreamlife side of things. Here we go. It's gonna be double Fiery Embrace, Edict first, Insight, Fiery, fire off that Truth Adjudication. Boom goes the Dynamite, 8 damage to face. Dreamlife mops it up with the Truth Adjudication. Dreamlife is our Rebirth of Glory release tournament champion, walking away with 300 hard-earned dollars. Coercezz, of course, coming up second place with $200 under his belt. What a tournament, Pot.
Wow, that was... Wow. Very different from last expansion, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of new decks to try out, and I think there's going to be a way larger focus on building your lineup, building specific decks. So that's going to be different, something different from the previous expansions.
I have got to say, I am excited to see how this expansion is going to shake out. Can Blood be, dethroned? Will its dominance last through more of the expansion? Is another deck going to rise up that can beat it? We've already seen people with Burn Rune. I've seen people experimenting with like aggressive forest lists, maybe get under the deck before it's able to like get all of these big things out in the mid game. Sorry, what were you saying, Pat?
People are trying out Lashena Portal as well.
Oh yeah, I've heard that deck is very good against the Haven decks. But maybe we can find a way to outfit it for Blood as well. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this expansion shakes out. Anyway, thank you absolutely everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who played in the event, especially our champion Dreamlife and our runner-up Coercezz. Again, thank you everyone who played. Thank you everyone who was watching. Really appreciate it. We'd like to thank Tempo Storm for sponsoring the prize pool for this tournament. Very, very generous of them, and we really appreciate it. I'd like to thank our admins, Lucille and Seirin. They've been doing a great job behind the scenes, making sure everything runs smoothly. I'd like to thank Charonian for moderating the Twitch chat, and I'd like to thank my co-host Potwasher for casting with me.
It's been a really great tournament. We saw pretty good play, like the Medusiana buff and Storm, things like that. A lot of refined play considering it's only a few days into the tournament, into the expansion. I think it was a really great event. Really happy to have been able to cast this event. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, it was great fun. Lastly, I'd just like to thank everybody who helped advertise the tournament on such short notice. You're all amazing. Anyway, thank you all once more. One more thank you to everyone for joining us tonight, or this afternoon, or this morning, or wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a lot of fun playing Rebirth of Glory for the rest of the expansion. And with that, I think that's everything from me. You got anything else to say, Pop?
Nope, that's all.
Okay. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.